Monday's episode of Days of Our Lives promises to be a roller coaster of emotions, secrets, and confrontations. From Tate's urgent clue that may save 2 young lives, to Javi's heart-wrenching realization, and Gwen unleashing her fury on Leo, Salem is boiling over with tension. But who will come out the other side unscathed? And which relationships are about to reach the point of no return? Let's break it all down. The walls are closing in for Gabby Hernandez. Ever since she received the gut-wrenching news that her daughter, Ariana Horton, has gone missing, Gabby's world has spiraled into emotional chaos. Her strength, the armor she so often wears, has begun to crack. She's tried to hold it together, clinging to whatever hope she can find. Xander Kyriakis has offered a shoulder to lean on, but there's only so much comfort a friend, or even a former flame, can offer when a child's life hangs in the balance. And that's where Javi comes in. Monday's episode gives Javi Hernandez his most pivotal moment yet, not just as Gabby's brother, but as a steadying force in her darkest hour. Javi's entrance into the scene isn't loud or dramatic. It's grounded, sincere, and deeply needed. He finds Gabby on the verge of emotional collapse and doesn't try to fix her grief. Instead, he listens. He holds her. He reminds her, gently but firmly, that they're not alone in this. He reassures her that Rafe, their ever-reliable older brother and a seasoned detective, is working tirelessly to bring Ari and Holly Jonas back safely. Javi's calm energy acts like a balm on Gabby's frayed nerves. It's the first time she breathes, really breathes, since the nightmare began. But make no mistake, the fear hasn't left her. The clock is ticking, and every passing moment without news tightens the grip of dread on Gabby's heart. Her worst fear, the loss of her child, feels closer than ever. And though Javi offers a lifeline, one can't help but wonder, how long can hope hold out before despair wins? In a dim, locked room somewhere in Salem, 2 brave girls are trying desperately to outsmart their captors. Holly Jonas and Ariana Horton have already proven their courage, clinging to each other, whispering plans, refusing to give in to fear. And now, they try to escape, but their attempt doesn't go as planned. Their small window of opportunity slams shut. Their captors are either too quick, or the barriers too strong. Hope fades for a moment. But in that same moment, Holly takes a calculated risk. She knows she may not be able to get out, but maybe a part of her can. She slips off her ring, a subtle, symbolic piece of jewelry, and drops it near the gymnastics center, one of the few places they'd passed during their brief attempt to flee. It's not just a ring. It's a cry for help, and someone answers. Felicity Green, sharp-eyed and always observant, spots the ring and senses that it's no ordinary trinket. Instead of dismissing it, she picks it up and hands it to Tate Black, a decision that could prove to be life-saving. Tate's reaction is immediate and intense. He recognizes the ring as Holly's. More importantly, he understands what it means. This isn't a coincidence, it's a clue, a message, a breadcrumb in the trail that could lead straight to the girls. The brilliance here is in how Holly uses what little control she has to send a signal, and how the right people are tuned in enough to interpret it. As Tate relays the discovery to Rafe, the tension skyrockets. Could this tiny object really pinpoint a location? Thanks to Cat Green's ESA intel and now Tate's discovery, Rafe doesn't just have a hunch, he has a roadmap. And he's ready to follow it. Salem's quiet corners are about to be shattered by the sound of urgent footsteps and a race against time. Tate Black, once seen as just a typical teenager caught up in a whirlwind of emotions, is now proving himself to be something more, something heroic. His quick thinking, emotional investment, and refusal to sit idly by have transformed him into a key player in the search for Holly and Ari. Tate's instincts, once driven by young love, have sharpened into focused determination. He doesn't hesitate. He doesn't doubt. When he saw the ring, he knew it meant something. And instead of panicking or second-guessing, he acted. That courage is exactly what this mission needs. Beside him is Rafe Hernandez, a man who's no stranger to pressure, but this case hits closer to home than most. As both an uncle and a police detective, Rafe is carrying the weight of two roles. His professional expertise is unmatched, but it's his personal connection that adds a layer of urgency. Every second that ticks by is another second Ari might be in danger, and Rafe knows it. Together, Rafe and Tate form a powerful duo: experience and energy, intuition and action. They now have not only Cat Green's ESA-derived location data, but a physical clue that confirms they're on the right trail. It's more than a lead, it's a lifeline. But the road ahead isn't guaranteed to be smooth. The people holding Holly and Ari aren't likely to surrender quietly. As the rescue team prepares to move in, the threat of violence looms large. Could they walk into an ambush? Will they be forced to make a split-second decision that could change everything? Monday's episode leaves us on the edge of our seats as Rafe and Tate inch closer to what could be either a triumphant rescue or a devastating showdown. While the hunt for Holly and Ari continues on the outskirts of Salem, back in town, a very different kind of battle is reaching its boiling point, and this one is anything but silent. Philip Kyriakis and Xander Kyriakis, two men with the same last name, but wildly different codes of honor, are once again locked in a combustible standoff. Their feud has long outgrown petty rivalry. This is about respect, legacy, and unresolved anger that's been festering beneath the surface for years. At the center of their friction, Gabby Hernandez. Xander, recently trying to redeem himself and step up as a source of support for Gabby in her moment of crisis, now finds his efforts questioned. Philip, never one to bite his tongue, accuses him of manipulation, of using Gabby's grief as leverage. But Xander fires back, accusing Philip of being an opportunist, a man who swoops in only when it serves his interests. What begins as a verbal joust soon threatens to escalate into violence. The insults cut deep, references to past betrayals, shady business dealings, and even personal failures. Xander brings up Philip's checkered romantic past. Philip hits back with reminders of Xander's criminal history and betrayal of loved ones. The Kyriakis name, once a symbol of power, is now reduced to a battlefield. Tension mounts with every word. Philip's voice rises. Xander clenches his fists. One wrong word, one sideways glance, and this could explode into a public brawl. Salem has seen these men trade barbs before, but never with stakes this high, and never with emotions this raw. Will someone intervene before fists fly? Or are we about to witness a full-blown Kyriakis showdown that could leave lasting damage, not just to reputations, but to family ties that are already hanging by a thread? Across town, another relationship is falling apart, but this one is messier, more personal, and heartbreakingly tragic. Gwen von Leuschner has reached her breaking point, and the person who pushed her there is none other than her longtime best friend, Leo Stark. Their friendship has been nothing short of a whirlwind: flamboyant parties, outrageous schemes, and secrets they've buried together. But underneath all the laughter and glitter was always a quiet, delicate trust. And now, that trust appears to be shattered. Gwen storms into their confrontation fueled by betrayal. She's hurt, angry, and no longer willing to bite her tongue. Whatever Leo did, whether it was selling her out, spreading a secret, or choosing someone else over her, it cut deep. This isn't just about one incident. It's the culmination of months of disappointment, masked by forced smiles and fake forgiveness. Her words are sharp, laced with heartbreak. She accuses Leo of being selfish, of always putting his interests first, of never truly valuing the friendship she fought so hard to protect. Leo, for his part, doesn't take the lashing silently. He throws back his signature sarcasm, deflects with wit, and tries to joke his way out of the situation. But as Gwen continues, even he starts to crack. His face falls. The pain seeps through. Because the truth is, he knows she's right. This argument is about more than just betrayal. It's about years of tangled loyalty, emotional dependency, and the fear of being abandoned. It's a breakup without romance but with just as much devastation. By the time their fight ends, there may be nothing left of what was once a vibrant, if chaotic, friendship. Can time heal this? Or is this the last chapter in Gwen and Leo's story? Only time will tell, but for now, the damage is done. As Monday's explosive episode draws to a close, we're left with a battlefield, emotional and literal, strewn across every corner of Salem. Rafe and Tate are closing in on Holly and Ari's captors, but will they arrive before it's too late? Will the ring be the missing link that leads to a miraculous rescue, or a devastating disappointment? Gabby, barely holding on, is leaning on her brother Javi's comforting words. But what happens if the worst comes true? Will she unravel, or rise? Meanwhile, Philip and Xander's bitter confrontation could change the dynamics of the Kyriakis family forever. One punch, one misstep, and someone may not recover, not just physically, but in the eyes of those watching. And then there's Leo and Gwen. A friendship that once felt unbreakable now teeters on the edge of collapse. Can anything pull them back from the brink? Monday's Days of Our Lives isn't just another episode. It's a turning point, a domino effect of emotional outbursts, painful truths, and irreversible decisions. It leaves us with one overwhelming question. What if this is the day everything changes? So, what do you think is going to happen next? Will Gabby lose control if something happens to Ari? Will Gwen and Leo ever trust each other again? And what secret is still lurking in the shadows that could blow everything wide open? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below, and if you haven't already, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for all the latest Days of Our Lives updates, theories, and drama-filled spoilers. Thanks for watching, and until next time, keep your eyes on Salem, because the next twist is always just around the corner.